Hey guys, it's Peter, and welcome back to my so-called healthy life, which is my weight loss journey. And as you guys know, I have a schedule of days that every day I do something different on. Mondays is Motivational Mondays. Tomorrow is Weigh-In Wednesdays. That's gonna be real fun this week. And Tuesdays is Transformation Tuesdays / Story Time. I wanted to do more of kind of a Transformation Tuesday thing because I know that that's a big deal on Instagram. And while we're talking about Instagram, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think, just a little thought, I used this eye cream this morning because you guys know that I'm not real big on the eye creams, and I feel like all it does is just make my face look greasy. But anyway, you guys are like, get out of the screen, it's too much. So I was thinking about, I always smell, okay, this is gonna sound so strange. You guys are like, what is this video? I always smell coffee. Well, I have a cup over there with coffee beans in it and I stick my pen into it. So I sit here and I go like this. I'm always like, what smells like coffee? Anyway, speaking of Instagram, what do you guys think about me starting a separate Instagram specifically for this channel where I show like meals that I'm eating, my weight loss progress, my transformation, all that kind of stuff. If you guys think that I should keep it just all on one, Peter Mon Instagram, which is listed below, please go follow it. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys think I should have a separate one, and I don't even know what I would call it because I did look and my so-called healthy life is already taken, so I would have to call it something like Peter Mon is sexy as fuck or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, so let me know in the comment section below what you think, if I should have a separate one just for my weight loss channel. Okay, so let's talk about Transformation Tuesday and just transforming our bodies, you know, around. And the title of this video is Fat to Thin and Back Again. And the reason I called it that, and I was actually gonna call it like Thin to Fat or something like that, Transformation Tuesdays, was because my dieting and my weight loss is like just circular constantly. Like there are periods of my life where I go through long periods where I am very, very thin, and there are other periods in my life where I'm very, very heavy, and it's not, there's no stability to it, which if you guys do the research, that's like really more unhealthy than being overweight for like a majority of your life. That yo-yo ups and downs is really, really physically unhealthy. And so, but it's interesting because like when I go back and I'm looking through pictures and I see like, I can remember like by an event of how I looked. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's interesting because I wanted to give you guys an example. And so I was looking through my Instagram and I had to go back all the way to 2011 at my wedding. And I went through all these pictures and I was like, oh my God, I have like changed so much. And in the last 5 to 6 years since I've been married, which I think happens with a lot of people that get married. I think you get married, I think you get very comfortable. I think the year before your wedding, you're so stressed out, you wanna like fit into the wedding dress or the suit, and you wanna look good at your wedding and in the wedding pictures, and you wanna enjoy your honeymoon and all that kind of stuff, so you lose a lot of weight before your wedding. And then it's like once the wedding's over and you come back, it's just like you relax and you're like, I'm comfortable now, like, baby, he ain't going nowhere, so, you know, you think he's not going anywhere. And I do think as partners in a marriage, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, okay? So just hold on to your horses. But I think that it is our responsibility to hold it together and to look as best as possible for our partner. And they should too. Like, I mean, I think to be a responsible partner is to maintain our health so that we live long lives with our partners and so that we still look good to them, you know? And, so anyway, but I think that a lot of times after our wedding, we kind of like, well, that's what happened to me, baby. 12 pounds a year since. So, and look at me, here I am. Booty shaking. Okay. So I was looking through those pictures and I was like, because I was going to show a picture, like it's, to me, honestly, like I love the transformation pictures, but like I love them when they're like a year out, okay? Like where I could see, I'll be like, damn, girl, she lost some weight, right? But like when people do them every week, I'm like, do you just have on tighter leggings? I can't tell. You guys like that? Like, hey, listen, if it works for you, I think that's great that it motivates you, but I can't really tell a difference. I know this one guy, and he is cute as a button, and he's probably 24 or something like that, and he used to be a little chubby. When I met him, he was chubby. I thought he was cute then. Listen, I like chubby guys sometimes, but I met him, and I was like, so anyway, we were talking, and I was like, he was talking to me about my weight, and he was like, you talked about your weight and blah, 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 whatever, and he was like, why does your weight bother you? And I'm like, because I'm super, super heavy and I'm conscious of it and I see it in pictures. And he's like, well, why don't you do something about it? And I'm like, okay, so I never act out this way. And I was like, why don't you do something about it? And he was like, well, I've been thinking about it lately. He's like, I want to start eating healthier and I want to start working out. I should show you guys his picture today, okay? I mean, we're talking a year and a half later and he's doing like bodybuilding competitions. and takes pictures of like raw chicken. I want that Instagram. Like, why can't I have that Instagram? And he looks incredible, but he looked incredible then and he looks incredible now. He just looks different to me, right? There was something very cute about him when he was heavier, and there's something real cute about him now. I mean, I will say the difference between being chubby and being in shape is he was cute then, he's sexy now. There's a difference. And do you want to be cute or do you want to be sexy? I mean, I don't want to be known as a cute chubby guy. I mean, I just don't, right? I want to be sexy. So don't we all? I mean, really. So I was looking through the pictures and I was like, okay, I've got to come up journal, my weight loss journal. I've got to come up with what I want my body to look like. And I think that a lot of times we set these goals and we write down, well, I want to be such and such weight and I want to look this. And so I was like, okay, I've got to figure out a picture or a memory of my head of when I look the best. And it's interesting because I think that a lot of times, like when you see women that have had the same haircut for like 20 years, I think a lot of times it's because they keep the haircut of when they were the happiest. And I think a lot of times we do that, like we hold on to like a memory in our head of when we were the happiest with our weight, and I don't think that's a bad thing, right? So I went back and I was like, okay, what was the happiest moment of my life in the last 10 years? And honest to God, what it was the day after we got married. We were in Vegas, stayed at the Cosmopolitan, loved that hotel all day long, and we had asked everybody if they were gonna stay to go to a different pool so we could be by ourselves at this pool, because like everybody stayed, right? So we were at this pool all by ourselves, we got a cabana, and I remember we just laid out there all day long and talked. Like, do you remember, like, do you ever miss having those conversations with your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend where you just like sit and talk about like the stupidest shit ever? Like, my friend Tanya and I were talking about this the other day. It's like, you go through periods, I think, in a marriage where you're, like, right now, both my husband and I are very, very busy, and so we just don't have those moments, and that's why I think that vacations and trips are super important for the health of a relationship. And I just remember that day just like talking about the most random shit, like our favorite songs and like, oh, have you ever seen this movie? And things that like we should have talked about years before and we never had. And we were like, why aren't we talking about these things? And I can remember thinking, God, he looks so good. And he was like, you're so handsome. And I mean, I just was so, I will never forget that day. It was just like amazing. I remember, and I don't drink, and I was remembering drinking these like Diet Cokes. They just couldn't bring them out fast enough by the pool. And I was like, it just was the most miraculous day. So I took this picture, okay? Don't judge. I took this picture of my belly. Can you see what it is? It's like me laying down like that towards the pool. Do you see how flat this is, baby? Flat and tan, okay? That is my memory. That is my goal. That is my Transformation Tuesday weight loss goal. And I think we need to all have one. And I get real consumed with like writing down 50 goals. So I was like, I want to remember that. So I wrote down transformation goal and I dated it because I'm going to date everything in this book. And I put dream day, sitting by the pool in Vegas after our wedding, because I want to remember what I looked like on that day. And I remember afterwards, we went and we ate with a friend of ours that lived in Vegas that night. We went to this really cute restaurant called Dragonfly. It was like this tapas restaurant. It was really sexy and the lights were down low. And I remember we went out dancing that night. And I like had like an old vintage Western shirt on, don't judge, and jeans. I just like felt good. And it was like, it's the happiest I've ever been. And I think physically one of the happiest times I've ever been too. And so if I could get back to that state of mind, like that would be awesome. And so I wrote down 3 physical goals. 1, to fit into clothes and to feel attractive in my clothes. Because there's a difference. Like I could fit into my clothes, but not comfortably. I want to fit into my clothes comfortably that I have up in my closet and feel attractive. Number 2, I want to have a healthier view of myself. I'll get to that in a second. And number 3, I want to be below 180 pounds. My goal is like 165, 170, but I want to be below 180. When I talk about having a healthier view of myself, what I'm really talking about is a lot of that body dysmorphia, where I was thinking about this the other day because somebody made a video about knowing me back in the day when I was a counselor, and she said in there, even when Peter was like 170, he would like pull on his shirt, and even now that he's a lot heavier, he still pulls on his shirt, and I thought, oh my God, that's so true. And what that says is, when I was 170, I felt just as heavy as I am right now in my head, and I've got to stop that. And so I've got to start working in a healthy way. And one of those ways is to talk about it on camera and to talk about my distorted view of my own weight, my body, and my health and things like that. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about me starting another Instagram. I know this was kind of like, I haven't had my coffee today, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, and I'm really excited about this. I hope a lot of you guys are doing this weight loss journey with me. I'm loving it so far. I'm feeling really good. I'm not going to lie and say I haven't cheated because I have, and I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. So let me know what you think about the Instagram. Follow me on all my social media. It's listed below. You see me putting on my shoes. And then pick out like a moment of your life where you are physically the happiest and use that as your goal for your transformation. All right? So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.